Don't fall. Just stay. I can make a ponytail with this. It's kind of surreal to me, but like, look at that. This is a bit much. I really got to get headshots and cut this soon, because this is already like keeping me up at night. So sweaty. It's sweaty. It's disgusting. I have to wear a bandana when I work out. You'll see later, but like, I look like a wannabe gangster from the early 2000s because all of this hair constantly gets in my face. So if I keep messing with it, I'm sorry. Hey friends, this is Yort back here with my training journal. Thanks for coming and joining me for those of you who've been watching. For those of you who are new, thank you for joining us. This is a series where I basically try and attempt to document, motivate, and analyze my training and skill progression. Whether that's in weightlifting or, stage combat, martial arts, even just in my unicycle. I wanna document these things, so this is what you're into, you're in the right place, and thanks for watching. Hey, by the time this comes out, I will now be 26. Happy birthday, me! Yes, I'm a Gemini. No, I have no idea what that means. So first up, we are gonna talk about my Iaido class and training. For those of you who don't know, Iaido is classical Japanese swordsmanship. I practice the Muso, Jikiden, Eishin Ryu style. If you want to see the links to the school that I attend, and if you really want to go through like the background and everything, link is in the description below. Go check out the school. It's Clear Lake Iaido. We have our parent dojos through Japan and such. They come and test us, but check that out in the description. Every year we only can really test once because we test and that video gets shipped off to Japan to be adjudicated. Going to class has had to take a back seat. I'm not here to throw excuses at a camera or make y'all listen to them, but I've got a lot of things going on in my life, and I'm currently too unfocused and too distracted to really be a good student, because I really deeply care about my martial arts study, and I've not stopped training, but I can't focus and discipline myself. I need to get myself back on the right track and the right mindset before I really start putting myself into training and expect others to expect something from me. But in the meantime, I haven't been idly on my hands. I have been reading. There are a couple books that I've read to keep myself sharp on, the use of the Japanese sword and its art. The first one is Muso Jikiden Eishin Ryu, the Ei Forms and Oral Traditions of the Yamanouchi Branch by Yamakoshi Masaki and Tsukimoto Kazutake. I'm sorry for the pronunciation. I'm still learning Japanese. It is not exactly the style of Japanese, like the style of Muso Jikiden Eishin Ryu that I study. It's a different branch. If you really want to get into all that, there is a whole section in the book that talks about like the lineage of teachers, who into what, who's taught by who and where and what. These are things that are extremely important because the differences in the school's styles and nuances tell you what the school is designed for. Ei itself, the use of the katana is meant for samurai to be used against other katana wielders. And that's my school. There are other schools that are used against pole arms, or other schools that are used against a shorter sword. Each one is different. So this is similar to my school, but not the exact same. This was a branch that technically I think is extinct. I don't think the Yamanouchi branch is still around, which is why this book is actually really important. There are a set of sitting forms that are directly inspired by poems that were penned by a Iaido master, and these are more or less the exact same sitting forms that I practice that are advanced. So it gives another context to how it's supposed to be performed and in what situations. Just little things like that and other little secrets and context about, what it was like to carry one of these as like a show of force and mandated by the government. Like what it meant, how you had to carry yourself, and it's a very interesting perspective. This next book was recommended to me by a sensei in the States here. He originally attended my dojo, but then moved to somewhere else. But he is a sword collector. Like he spends the money, he spends the time, he spends the research, he does everything. But the book is The Facts and Fundamentals of Japanese Swords by I have it right here. The book is Facts and Fundamentals of Japanese Swords by Nobuo Nakahara. Sorry, I'm always gonna keep trying. The first part of the book is more about histories and battles and very influential points in Japanese history that really helped shape the sword itself. Another book I'm going to get into in the future is a book called The Art and History of Personal Combat, and that is in a different kind of facet, more focused towards Western styles of fighting, in the sense that it focuses, or it mentions a lot about how the style of swordplay and the use of the sword got so honed down, it basically became like, I have a long needle, you have a long needle, I'm gonna stab you first. Whereas, not oppositely in the Japanese world, but there are a lot of influences from China, there are a lot of influences from, battles and having a longer kisaki, which is the tip of the blade, to a shorter one, which one's easier to get out, having a tachi, which is a long katana, be carried on horseback, or, tanto curve, how it only had one edge, how long it was, how long the tip was that cut, how long, how they were able to keep them indoors, how they wore them, if they wore them on a horse, how they stored them, what's the quality of this blade, different things you can tell. And I'm by no means, saying that this book's gonna make you a master in learning the quality of Japanese blades. It definitely is a great step in the right direction of understanding the blade itself. I studied the blade. No, more like, it talks a lot about sword parts and pieces, and this is much more for people who are interested in, I feel like, blade work, kind of leaning towards blacksmithing. So check it out if you're interested, if you can find it. I know it's kind of pricey, but it's a very, very good book, very interesting. I highly recommend it. Reading is nice, reading is important, and it's good to be well read, but there is no substitute for the dojo. This isn't going to become like a book report section on my my training journal, though that is going to be a different video I hope I make soon. But that's it for the EI portion. So let's get into weight training for this next section. Last time I mentioned that I got a whole bunch of weight plates for my home gym, so that's really been able to help my progression, and I feel like now I've gotten into a really comfortable rhythm and pattern of using them and using them effectively. The bench itself is still kind of shaky, a little wobbly, so a lot of these I don't feel comfortable throwing on a ton of weight, because if I fall off one side, or if it doesn't seem like it's gonna break, if I'm not able to stabilize myself, I feel like there's gonna be an issue, and I don't wanna slip a disc or hurt something. So let's get into it. So for this section of the video, I'm gonna have basically a almost complete recreation of what I do, but how I'm doing it, some of the exercises that I do, let's see, or at least the process in which I work out, because I know I'm not an athlete, I'm not training for like a competition, I'm not trying to be too big to like fit through a doorway. I just really want to like learn my body and take care of it. But that being said, this isn't all exactly concrete. Some days are better than others. Every day I do work out almost every day. I at least stretch every day. But I've had to learn the importance of rest days, because I used to overtrain way too much, because I like physical exertion. It's fun for me. Once again, I'm not a personal trainer. I have no education, and I do have education, but I don't have any like medical education in that. I don't have any background in this. This is just me. I don't have any gym bros. This is just me and the weights. So let me know how you think, I guess. So first up, the first exact thing I do before I work out is I drink my pre-workout. I get that crack water, because once you drink that crack water, there's no going back. Like, once it's done, you're working out. No questions asked. But the first thing I do is I don't start with stretching. I start with about 5 minutes of cardio. Just light jump rope, jumping jacks, just moving around, weaving, footwork, something I can do consistently for 5 minutes. I usually do jump rope. Jump rope is my favorite. I can keep it in a nice, tight, confined space. I don't have to go running for long miles. I don't have to, go swimming. I don't have to go bike for a long time. I can just stay in one little spot, and I'll switch it up. I'll do like foot switches. I'll do stance switches. I'll just do regular. I've been trying to learn how to do the swinging around and then jumping with it, but we're gonna get there eventually. After 5 minutes of jump rope, I do a whole bunch of dynamic stretches because I want to make sure that I am warming up my body and not just pulling it, tugging it like a static stretch. I want to get the blood moving. I want to get the joints lubricated. So the list of dynamic stretches that I do, I roll through my wrists, both forward and back. I roll through my elbows. I'll roll through my shoulders, my ankles, and my hips, and I'll do about 20 seconds in each direction a couple times until I really feel like everything in those muscle groups is nice and lubricated. But wrists, elbows, shoulders, ankles, hips, I'll do large arm hug swings. I'll do leg swings. I'll let the weight of my foot and my shoe just kind of like carry my foot out. I'll do crab rolls on the ground. I'll shift my position from one part where my foot is to where my hand was to where my other hand was. And then depending on the muscle group of that day, I'll do 25 of pull-ups for a back day. I'll do 25 knuckle push-ups for a chest day, or I'll do like 20 to 50 free weight squats just to start out a leg day, just to get things moving and get those specific areas warmed up. So first up is chest and triceps. I would say shoulders specifically as well, but I kind of hit shoulders every day in weight training, even legs. So I'll do one specific shoulder isolation, but not too much. But anyway, so how I've worked out my flat, incline, and decline chest presses is I'll switch off if I start with incline or flat presses, and I'll do a set of 10, a set of 8, another set of 8, and then a set of 6, and then I'll switch to the one and then second I'll do a set of whatever I didn't do first as 8, and then 6, and then last. I've kind of been getting lax on the decline chest presses. They don't really seem to activate my chest very much. I get more activation out of decline chest flies with some like dumbbells, but I really don't get it that much with my decline, and I'll really just kind of do 6, 8, 6 if I'm really feeling like I want to touch that. But I start out with that for chest, and then I'll do 3 sets of some dumbbell skull crushers, either at an angle or straight by the ear. Either one gives you a bit more activation, and depending on where you hold the dumbbell, certain more activation in the tricep head. But then I'll do shrugs with 50-pound dumbbells, tricep cable extensions. I really do like those to help really push through. I'll do chest flies, depending if I want, like I said earlier, if I want to do the chest flies decline or if I want to do them incline. I really don't do chest flies flat. Those don't really seem to help me isolate what I want to get. For the shoulders isolation exercise, I'll do either lateral raises, front raises, or I will do shoulder press. If I might do 2 if I'm really feeling it and I want to kind of push them a bit more, but I really don't feel the need to do a lot of shoulder stuff. So next up is leg day. I'll have a leg or a cardio day between back and chest just to make sure I'm giving the muscle groups time to, fully recharge. Your legs do need the activation of heavy weights with low reps. Also, it needs the activation of high reps with low weight. Just to get the full growth potential from them, you need to be hitting both areas, switching them off at the gym. What I do for leg days is I typically start out with some barbell squats. I'll do about 3 sets of 8, and then some deadlifts. If I'm feeling really funky, I'll do 3 sets of 10. I'm completely new to doing deadlifts, so my deadlifts are absolute garbage. Be patient with me. Then I'll move on to walking or reverse dumbbell or barbell lunges. I really like the barbell because the way the weight feels spread out on my back. The dumbbell kind of swings too much, so I've kind of switched to only doing the barbell lunges, whether going reverse or walking forward. Those I've really been liking. Next up, we have the leg extensions and leg curls, and the ideal thing is to, at the height of the extension or the curl, to kind of hold it there for a second and then slowly let it back down. Because the second that momentum gets up in there, you're going to really start hurting your back. And I'll do standing calf raises, and then I'll follow that up with seated calf raises, because you know, you always got to get those calves. I'm pretty sure I get a lot of activity in my calves because of jump rope, but I still like throwing on some weight there. And the last exercise that I'll throw in there for a leg day will be about a 3 to 4 minutes of sitting, like a wall sit. I won't do it like a full minute. I'll break it up into like 30 seconds or a couple different seconds groupings, but I try and get wall sits in there as well. And next up, we got back and biceps, baby. Some of the best times on earth. I never feel like I do back and biceps enough. Like, I mean, I probably already do, probably overtrain them, but I just, I don't know. Maybe I'm just too scared about throwing a lot of weight on them, because I've really hurt. I felt like I've slipped a disc, and I really don't want to do that again, because that hurt, and I was bedridden for like a week. That shit was terrible. I never want to go back to that again. It's less developed, but I think I'm getting to a point where I'm able to kind of start to see some progression. So first up, I start with some overhand pull-ups, because that I feel like gives me, I get more activation in my back than I do with like a regular chin-up or like the hammer pull-ups. I have the extension for those on the like little pull-up bar that I have, but I just don't feel it as much as I do when I do the overhand pull-ups. And then I'll move to one arm incline rows with the bench, because I can set it up at like probably a 15-degree incline, and I can do a nice one arm row with the 50 pounds. After that, I'll do a set of either wide grip rows or narrow grip rows with my my weight cable. I'll put a bar, or I'll put like a broomstick handle through that, and I'll just use those for my different hand positions. And then I don't do a lot of curls. I'll do maybe 2 sets of curls. So many people go ham on the curls. Not necessary. Your triceps are what you're going for if you're going for mass. If you're going for size, you go for the triceps. But the biceps, you don't need to do that many. And my favorite kind of curls are Zotman curls. I love them so much because I really feel them in my forearms, which I feel like I neglect so much. But I'll do some Zotman curls, I'll do hammer curls, or I will do barbell curls. If I ever do regular, just straight up barbell curls or dumbbell curls, one thing I've noticed and I make sure to do is I make sure my pinky is the highest point of the curl, because if you're turning that hand over a little bit once you're reaching the peak, you're getting the most activation out of your bicep muscle head. Just a little thing to help cut that bicep muscle real nice. Interspersed throughout all of these like weightlifting workouts are my cardio workouts. I would show y'all what I do for that, but it's not too different. Again, I start out with like the warm up with the cardio, the stretching, and then I've been helping my roommate Justin move back in, and he needs help working out, so I've been doing some Muay Thai pads with him. We've been fighting together, doing a lot of jump rope, like just keeping ourselves accountable and making sure we're both doing cardio, because cardio is not fun, and especially in the Texas heat, it's not exactly what you want to choose to do. I would love to go swimming, but I don't really have the perfect ready access to a pool yet. Alongside with the cardio, I will be doing, on those days, I also do 2 to 3 ab exercises, because don't need to go too ham on them, but I will do some version of a plank, whether it's side planks, front planks, elbow planks, and then I'll do some kind of fluttering leg section where it's like elbows to knees. I'll do scissor kicks, butterfly kicks. I know some people like to use a system of time for the amount that they do. Like, I'm gonna do flutter kicks for a minute. I have to go by like hundreds. I go by amount. That's just how my brain works. I'll do 2 to 3 of those exercises. I really like side planks, and I really like what are they? I really like scissor kicks. Scissor kicks are fun. But yeah, that's really all I do for those cardio days, and I feel like it's giving me a pretty good physique and a pretty good look. I'm pretty happy with how I'm looking. But that's the basics of my workout plan. I try my best to stick to like 3 days on exercising, 1 day off, then 5 days exercising, then 1 day off. But like I said, I got a bad habit of overtraining. I get into the habit of every day workout. It's so much fun. Shooting is still underway for the DC fan film that I'm in, Sounds of Danger by Minority Geeks. Go check them out in the description. They have a whole bunch of updates on the process, and they're allowed to update you a lot quicker on the process than I am. But we haven't got to film any fight scenes yet. When we do, I feel like I want to do a little behind the scenes section here with Justin, because Justin, my roommate, is going to also be the stunt guy for the main villain, Automatopoeia. So him and I are going to be choreographing those fights. So I might let y'all in on a little background secret, but until then, we got a couple new photos, we got a couple new scenes shot. Stay tuned. A lot of cool stuff coming. I'm really excited for these fights because you guys will see. It'll be really, really cool. For the unicycle, I haven't really had the time to practice, to be fully honest. And this is the last time that I did enjoy. More progress to come. And last but not least, everyone's favorite section. It's the kitty skate update. So last we left off on the kitty skate update, we met Milo. Milo was very friendly, but he did start throwing hands with Big Tom, the other cat, and this random dog, this lady just let loose, as if like nothing was gonna happen to the dog. It was really weird. But we saw Milo out one night, and we went to go up and pet him, and I guess he was in front of the house that like of his owner, because this lady came out and like called Milo and like, Milo, come in. It was like we were gonna like eat her cat or something. It was real weird. I don't know what her issue was, but I thought we were never gonna see him after that, but we saw him a couple nights later, so no big deal. But we do have 2 new additions to the rosters. We did not see these on a skate, and we didn't see these at night, so I don't know if they count, but we do have Bertha and Cheese. I didn't name Bertha and Cheese. Justin and Kelly did. But let me know what y'all think of the names Bertha and Cheese for these cats. Other than that, I think it's time to sign off. Thank y'all for hanging out and watching the training journal. I know these don't really come out on a consistent basis, but I try my best. I want to make a quality video. It's just me doing all of this, in case you can't tell. So if you could like, subscribe, and comment, it'd really mean a lot to me and help grow the channel. And I will see you guys next time. Let me know if there's anything you guys want to see me like practice or start trying to do. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Go ahead and leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you're enjoying the content. It would definitely mean a lot to me, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.